it is I, Madame Askew. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. And Monsieur Gâteau, who's making an appearance, at least with his tail. That's very exciting. So we have a new setup tonight. I'm very excited. I think it's going to work, but we'll see. So if you are tuning in, I would be so grateful if you would comment and let me know how it looks wherever you're viewing it, especially if you are on one of the other sites besides Twitch. Hello, Bess. Hello, my friend. It's so good to see you. I'm going to try something here. That worked really well last time. Put the comments on the screen so that regardless of where you are viewing, you can see what's happening. So I'm very excited. I am trying a new setup tonight. It's a little bit of an experiment. I'm sure we will find some wee technical things that we have to work out as well again, but so far so good. I'm very excited. And also, hello, Phyllis. Oh my gosh, Phyllis has read the Patreon post today. So if you are a Patreon subscriber at the biscuit tier or beyond, I posted today about the upcoming project that's going to be happening, which is our autumn sewing adventure, or Underpinnings Autumn, as I am dubbing it. Hello, Arjun Peacock. It's so good to see you as well, my friend. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, for the next few weeks, I'm going to be working on underpinnings. I need to make a new petticoat. The degree to which I need new chemise, new shifts is not to be understated. It's very extreme. I desperately need more. I had to do laundry like every night at Worldcon to try and get through all the underpinnings I had, and it was a real maybe this is not the most conducive. So it's going to be shifts and split drawers, bustle cages, petticoats, and likely a pair of drawers for the Grand Arbiter as well. And then we're going to be getting into a little bit of corsetry. So I wanted to clarify that it's not a corset class. None of these are like classes properly. I'll be working on these things and I will answer your questions about them. And I'll show you some of the steps, but it won't be like a fulsome walkthrough of the whole thing. If you're just tuning in on Twitch, you'll see portions of it, but I will answer as many questions as I'm able. If you are able to join us on Discord, I'll also be working on these things on Saturdays on Discord. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, then twice a month on Sundays, I'm going to deep dive on the garment, and I'll be able to go through a lot more of the process, a lot more in depth, and I will be able to demo some of the complicated pieces of the process. So I'm very excited. It's sort of a bit like a sew along rather than a class. It's very akin to what I did for years on Tuesdays previously, our tutorial Tuesdays, where I work on a project and I'd answer questions. And so I'm very excited to get back to that and get into it. I'm also going to be working on a chapeau in this mix. So there's going to be like a lot of sort of fussy, fancy, fun stitching projects happening. Very keen, but the underpinnings are fairly critical. And so that's where I'm starting. Now, if you're not on Patreon, of course, this is all brand new information for you. Or if you haven't had an opportunity to go and read the Patreon posts yet, this is brand new information for you. And I see Archie Peacock says, I've started a base for a hat, but now I need to find all the trim and fabric I put aside for it. Yes, isn't that the way? Like, I have this problem where I gather all the things and I set them aside someplace very safe. And then I create the foundational structure for the chapeau. And then I'm like, but where did I put the fabric? I very strongly relate to that experience. Right now, I'm just making the frame. I haven't ordered the fabric yet, but this is the frame of the chapeau I'm making to go with our Dark Academia project. I'm very excited. I've made this style before. It's the tapered crown chapeau. It's got like a very tall crown on it. I have to, it's very tall. I have to scoot down in the seat to like fit. So it's not the tallest hat I've ever made. That would be my witch's hat, which comes in at like 15 inches tall or some nonsense. Oh, yes. Okay, this is a great question. I'm so happy Bess asked. Let's start with the most undecorous question. Do split drawers prevent thigh rub, or are they cut too low for that? She's debating making some, but they would prevent her from wearing tights or shorts to prevent the dreaded rub. Okay, great question. So, in general, I have found that they do prevent the dreaded chub rub, the thigh rub. So I find them very useful in that regard. So the version I make is this set from Truly Victorian. And I mean, the opening is somewhat low, it's true, but it's high enough that it sort of is right where that portion of my anatomy, like kisses, my inner thigh kisses. So the fabric is generally right there. But also, this is, I'm glad you all like me already. This is so scandalous. But as I wear them, they sort of ride up so that the opening gets closer to certain bits. And so the thigh gap or thigh kissing or the meeting of the thighs is further guarded against by the fabric. Now, I particularly like this pattern, the Truly Victorian 102. It's their chemise and drawers together because of the way that opening is constructed. It has a really thick facing there that is very comfortable. And that is so important because the first time I made split drawers, they didn't have, I used a pattern that didn't have a facing. You just hemmed the little opening edge and then you like turned it in. And so it was a little bit rough and it actually rubbed so hard against my thighs whilst I was wearing them that it created a series of blisters, which was horrible, as you can imagine, much worse than getting a little bit of, you know, that friction burn and chafing, honestly, that you get when you have like that thigh chafing that happens. So I'm very keen on having a nice wide facing there because the facing makes it soft and it also helps wick away perspiration, which is part of the issue. And it's again, this design, it kind of like rises a bit whilst you're wearing it. And normally that would be so uncomfortable to have your trouser-like garment riding up. But because they're not sewn in that center seam, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get like, I don't know any nice way to say this, but you won't get a wedgie from it. So that's nice. And then it protects your inner thighs. So that was like quite the answer. Hello, Sam. It's so good to see you. Captain Sam is here. And I see we're off to a good start because we've talked about something very indecorous. And of course, we have a wonderfully cheeky comment, which I really appreciate. A good cheeky comment. Let's see here if I can. So this is where, no, it doesn't want to do it. There we go. So there's our cheeky comment to get us going. I appreciate a little bit of cheekiness. So the new setup, I think, is working, but it is Trixie. All right. All right. There we go. Yes. So, yes. And as, oh gosh, I liked the cheeky comment, but now I want it to go away. But this is where we're learning the new format. So thank you for your patience. And Bess says, considering all the shorts she wears do that, that makes sense. Also, facings forever. Noted. You want the facing. You want the facing. Absolutely. It's so good. So anyway, right. No, I don't want. Stop it. All right. It's all fine. It's fine. No, it's look. No, I did not. Oh my God. I think it just blocked somebody. I did not want to block you. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh my God. No. All right. Look, everything's good, right? No. Oh, sweet mother of Buddha. All right, look. No, go away. All right, sorry, we're having a little technical difficulty. Let me see. Yeah, no. Oh, for the love of all that is holy, I'm going to have to go in. Yes, I want that gone. Bess, I accidentally blocked you, which is very, very sad about that. Let me see if I can fix it. Dear Mother of Buddha. No, Sam was blocked. I didn't want that either. Can I unblock you? Holy cats. Oh, well, all right. So you're still here. Sam got blocked accidentally. I don't want that. That's very irksome. So Sam, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to undo that. Sweet Holy Mother of Buddha. It's fine. I'll fix it at some point. I'm so sorry that I blocked you. I did not mean to do that, and I cannot figure out how to undo it. Sam, I'm so sorry. I'm using a new Bess is still good. Bess, you're good. I'm seeing your comments. All right. Well, that is really, I need a cup of tea. I'm so sorry, Sam. Thank you, Phyllis. And thank you. Hello, Cheshire. Someone please come save me from myself and technology. Sam, forgive me. So anyway, I'm using a tablet. So I'm just going to be honest and fess up. So I'm using a tablet. So I have two devices going in order to facilitate the stream. And because last time we had this technical challenge where I couldn't do anything with my hands because it kept timing out. So now we're using a tablet. The tablet seems to be working pretty well, except that when I went to unhighlight a comment, it accidentally banned a user, which I don't see how I can undo. So I'm going to have to go in and see how to unblock that user, and I don't know how to do it. All right. Yeah, thank you. So Phyllis says Twitch is a bit blurry. Is it blurry elsewhere? I hate technical challenges like this. So they always make me very anxious. Right. So anyway, Sam, again, I'm so sorry. I will hopefully figure that out, as I don't want you blocked, and I only slightly on YouTube. All right, well, I'm using the same device to film my face and stream. I wonder if it's just, actually I have no idea. So I'm sorry for the slight blurriness. We may have to do something else again. I don't know. So thank you for your patience. Right. So now I'm totally derailed, but please ask me another question so we can get back on track. No. The auto turned on, a blur motion feature that auto turned on. I don't know how to remove that. No, don't ban myself. That would be terrible. It just wants to ban everyone. What is that about? What's that about? I don't want to ban anyone right now. We're all fine. All right. No. Well, I don't know. I don't know, everyone. I don't know. Please ask me a question, because now I'm like going off the deep end and spiraling out. Am I excited about TUSCon? Thank you, Cheshire. That's a great question. And yes, Phyllis is correct. Tonight is a good night to play around with tech stuff. I'm continuing to muck about with it and try and get it sorted and all the things. So fingers crossed, everyone. I want this to work. I want it to be good. And if it does work like this, I can have potentially 2 cameras, which would be really nice for when we're doing demos and things. So, am I excited about TUSCon? Yes. So, TUSCon is the second weekend of November here in Tucson, Arizona. I know that for those of you who go to steampunk conventions, that's very bad timing this year because it's the same weekend as TeslaCon. But TeslaCon's dates move. So Hope Springs Eternal, and TUSCon is always the second week in November, and has been for 52 years, because this is TUSCon 52 this year. And Gail Carriger is the guest of honor. Of course, I'm always thrilled to see Miss Gail. You know, we're chums, and I love getting to spend that time with her at a convention, and hopefully get up to some shenanigans and tea drinking and what have you. So I'm really excited about that. But also, I'm on the programming team for TUSCon. And so I have been working away with the programming team, the rest of the programming team, on our schedule for TUSCon. And we are so spoiled for choice. There's an amazing array of panelists and programming. It's really top notch. Our biggest struggle is getting everything on the schedule, because there's so many good things. So there's always a lot that gets left on the cutting room floor, as it were, to come back next year. We do this every year, where we have sort of our like list of panels that we, the programming panel or the programming team, came up with, and we're like, well, we can't squeeze those on this year because all of our panelists have suggested too many good panels. They've all submitted too many good things, so we'll have to put these off and see if we can squeeze them on for next year. So we're really spoiled for choice, and which is to say, is just already shaping up to be a stunning assemblage of programming. I'm also doing Ian Taylor, which I host only at TUSCon. And Ian Taylor is our sewing cosplay contest that asks the questions, what if Iron Chef but with cosplay? And so you get a secret ingredient, you get a wide range of weird nonsense to work with. We provide some tools. You're also allowed to bring in your own tools, actually, but we provide some tools and some resources and supplies. We give you the secret ingredient, and we give you a prompt. And so you have to make your costume to the prompt using the secret ingredient and other things, and you do it with a team. So usually we have 2 teams competing. My dream is to have 3 teams competing at TUSCON. That would be magical. And the teams are usually 5 to 6 people, and they include the model. So the model gets to help with sewing and construction and all of those things. But the garment has to be wearable by the model long enough for them to basically take a turn on the catwalk. And and we have judging and all of that sort of thing. It's really fun. It's absolutely ridiculous. I love doing it. I look forward to it all year. And whilst I am putting together mystery boxes for the mystery box sale this Friday, I'm also pulling out some wild things to go into a fabric bin for Iron Tailor. But that's also like, if you are local, if you're here in Tucson or Southern Arizona, or just Arizona in general, and you're coming down to TUSCON and you have some weird fabric you want to get rid of, please donate it to Iron Tailor. We can always use some weird stuff, to be honest. So Phyllis says she's really excited to see Gail next year at Chicago. I'm so excited. Gail is going to be back in Chicago. I've never been to the Chicago Steampunk Expo. I'd really love to go sometime. I hear wonderful things about it. Everyone I know who's attended has had an absolutely fantastic time. I know that the organizer is very committed to making certain it's a great con, and he puts a lot of passion into it, and he really works with a great team of people. So that's lovely. I love to see it. I love these smaller conventions because you can really have that sense of community and really connect with your friends and the artists and the guests who are there, which is, I think, so lovely. And that's part of what makes TUSCON so special, because TUSCON caps attendance at 500 people. So and we rarely hit 500, although we like to when we can, to be honest. So please attend, please come. But it's so nice because you get a chance to talk to everyone you want to and to engage with people as much as you like. At the same time, there's enough space if you are like an introvert or you need some quiet time or what have you. It's also small enough that you can get away. You can go find a quiet corner. You can go find a room that is not bursting at the seams with people. And that's so you kind of get the best of both worlds that way. Oh, and Archer Peacock says, aside from Boston, she thinks all the fan-driven cons are on the West Coast these days. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of them are, although, I mean, there are fan-driven steampunk cons around the country. I'm not very familiar with what's out on the East Coast these days in terms of small fandom cons. Most of the ones I do know are west of the Mississippi anyway. Maybe not all the way onto the coast, but a lot of them are coastal. I guess out here in the western states, we're just really holding on to that fan convention experience. And I love it. It's very unique experience, although I hate that construction. It's simply a unique experience. They are unlike the huge pop culture cons. They're not for profit. They're usually put together with a tiny budget, a few paper clips, a shoestring, and some bubble gum, honestly, but with a lot of passion. And there's a focus on the programming. So we do have vendors. We do have like places where you can buy beautiful art and swag and that sort of thing. But generally, you're not going to have big queues to pay for photo ops or to pay for autographs or that sort of thing. If a guest is there, if they have an autograph session, you merely sign, get into the line, right? You don't pay for the autograph. So that's really nice. I don't begrudge people who are making their living at conventions by being able to sell photo ops and autographs. Far from it. I think it's important as an artist to be able to make your living. But it is really lovely to be able to still also go to these smaller conventions where you can meet your favorite author or artist or performer and actually engage with them. So that's, I think, part of the joy of TUSCon. Archie Peacock says Baltimore Comic Con is still a good comic fan driven event as well. So excellent. I have a confession. I've never been to Baltimore, but I hear lovely things. I'm fascinated by the accent. And one of our favorite people from our steampunk community, TM Kuta, happens to go and do quite a bit around Baltimore. So they're in the area. Right. So excellent. Thanks for pulling me back from my despair. I'm still so chagrined and kind of deeply sad that I accidentally blocked Sam. That was so I'll try and fix that, but I'm feeling less like I'm spiraling out now, so thank you very much. Please do continue to ask questions about our upcoming conventions, our upcoming adventures, and the underpinnings sewing phenomenon that is going to be happening this autumn and probably into winter time. Honestly, I do have a big costume build that I'm also going to be working on, so I'm going to be probably running like 2 or 3 projects concurrently, which is a little bit chaotic. So previously, previous to the dragon costume, I was kind of a stickler for just working on one thing at a time, and I'd finish it and I'd move on to the next piece. But a thing I learned with working on the dragon costume is that sometimes the schedule does not work well that way. Like, you have to be able to have some things going concurrently so you can prepare pieces to go on a thing, and whilst you're waiting for those parts to be ready, you can work on something else. So I always had something to work on, in other words, and I think that will be really nice because I'll be able to focus on just getting things done. So Bess asked, what am I working on tonight? Hat or petticoat or something else? So originally I thought I'd get stitching on the hat, and I may still get back to this, although I realize I need to repair a piece before I continue on with the side of the crown. So if I work on anything, I'll be working on the brim most likely, because the crown needs a little bit of repair. I made a bit of an error when I was sewing it together originally, so I had to take a part of it apart because I got it. I'm sewing. Let me complete a sentence. I'm sewing 2 layers together, right, to make the side of my crown stronger when I go in and do my hat. And I had a pretty good effect sewing it together, but I discovered towards the end that I'd gotten the end off kilter a little bit, and I had like just the tiniest little air pocket in here, and I need it to be very smooth so that when I turn it and stitch it in the back, I don't have any weird air pockets. So I had to take a bit of it apart so I could fix that air pocket. So I may get into the brim tonight, but in part that's because I don't want to cut out a fabric yet with this particular setup. I may find that this is not conducive to fabric cutting. So this may be a setup we use when we're actually like doing stitching or answering questions, and I'll cut fabric in the dead of night when no one can see me. But I will show you the fabric I'm planning for the petticoat, and I'll also share the pattern I'm going to be using for the petticoat, because I love the pattern and I'm very excited because I have this fabric in my stash. So, because of the nature of the costume I'm doing, the sort of dark academia of it all, the sort of secret tea society vibes that we're bringing to it, I wanted to do underpinnings that were like a little bit gothic, a little bit, hinted at secret things. And I happen to have this really beautiful floral print. It's a William Morris print. I'd gotten it originally to actually be the heart of our traveling costume. And then the Grand Arbiter didn't like it when he saw it in person for that costume. So I've had this fabric and I decided it would make a wonderful petticoat. And so it's got this gorgeous botanical prints happening. It's all grey and black and sage green, and so it's kind of got this diluted quality to it, a little bit mysterious but very botanical, not particularly spooky, but it's got like a mysterious botanical vibes, and I just love this print. And thank you, Marlena, and thank you, Mama Step. Yes, I love this fabric so much. It's a wonderful cotton. This is sort of like I'd call it a little bit on the heavier side of a quilting weight, but it's like a quilting weight cotton. I picked it up from eQuilter online, and where they do have a little William Morris section, although they have less of a selection than they did in 2020, to be honest. When I purchased this, they had maybe 2 or 3 pages of William Morris inspired prints. I'm obsessed with William Morris's work from the 19th century. I love his art. So I'm very excited to be using this. I think it'll be really nice. So I'm going to make this petticoat have some like black trim details. I don't have any sage green in the house, so I'm going to lean into the black, which I do have on hand. For some of these underpinnings, I'm going to be using them as stash busters and shopping my stash. And so I'm very excited to put this beautiful fabric to work, and I have plenty of it. Also, hello, Ty, we were just talking about you. Hello, I'm now like very paranoid about highlighting comments, so thanks for your patience, because the last time I did that, I accidentally blocked someone, so that's not what we want. This is the pattern I'm going to be using. It's the Truly Victorian TV 170. And I like this pattern because it's actually 4 petticoats in one envelope, which is wonderful. It's very straightforward to make up the petticoat. Of course, I do add my own kind of little tweaks to things. I don't like a drawstring normally. I really struggle with drawstrings and keeping them tied. So I usually put in a fitted waistband that's like flat and smooth, and then like either a hook and eye in the back or a button or something like that. I have occasionally considered putting in ties that just go across the back bit for a little bit of adjustability, and maybe I'll experiment with this. But the other advantage of using a fitted waistband for the petticoat is that it's less bulky under my clothes. The disadvantage from using a fitted waistband is that if you have any adjustability or any fluctuation in your size, you don't have much adjustability in the petticoat, and historically they liked their petticoats to be pretty adjustable, which is a practical choice. So I'm pondering, but also it's so good. Our dear Ty is here. I'm so delighted. It's wonderful. So this is going to be the petticoat. Very pleased. Now, once I do the petticoat, I'm probably going to do like a black ruffle on it. I think I might do a multi-tier ruffle. I've done that before. Ruffles are nice. They are sort of fussy, right? They're a bit of fanciful, fluff added to your petticoat, but they have a functional element. The ruffles help support the hem of your skirts. And so you do want a ruffle there. And sometimes you want a little bit more ruffle there for more support. So sometimes I double up on the ruffle. I might even, I don't know, triple. So, oh my gosh. So Marlena says Picking Daisies, a great little local quilt shop near to them, has online ordering and shipping and carries a decent amount of Morris & Co. This is the William Morris prints for anyone looking. Oh, excellent news. That makes me very excited because I love William Morris. He's so wonderfully subversive. Oh, this is wonderful. So Archie Peacock says she always adds a little bit of extra length to her underskirts. So if she has to move the hook and eye, she can gain add an inch or two. It's not like anyone will see the gap in the back. That's absolutely true. Sometimes I make my waistband longer in a similar sense so that I have a little bit of adjustability there. But, I just struggle with that drawstring sort of loosening through the day and things shifting, and then the bulkiness of the gathers of the drawstring. And so I just don't like it. Archer Peacock says she also sees some cotton sheet sets with some William Morris prints. They never last for long, though. That's because the prints are so good. William Morris, such a masterful artist. So I'm also going to be making a new bustle cage. And currently I need to check and see how much of this particular print I have. But I think this is what I'm going to use for the bustle cage and the grand arbiter's drawers. So the arbiter's drawers are a whole different can of worms, and I will absolutely talk about them because the pattern makes me a little bit cocoa banana pants. But this is the fabric I'm thinking of for the bustle cage. So this is definitely more in the spooky, arcane kind of vibes. We've got, planchettes and death's head moths and bats and poison bottles and all sorts of wonderful things. Ouija board, text and skulls and all of this delightfully gothic nonsense. So this is my plan right now for the bustle cage. I need to, like I said, I need to measure it out and see how much I have. I think it'd be so lovely, and I'm very excited about the potential. Mama Step says I have some of that. It's hello, Grand Arbiter. Hello. Oh no. That's not what I wanted. Do video.
Hello. Hi, everybody. It's me. I'm on the go.
You're on the go. What a wonderful surprise. That's so great. Let's just tell you about the fabric and things.
I am out here. I am doing the corporating. I'm corporating all over the corpos.
Oh my goodness. Grand Arbiter.
Well, somebody in the techno hellscape, someone has to do corpo stuff so the artists can survive.
Well, thank you for doing that. I appreciate you are willing to do that.
I just wanted to say you are special and important and talented and smart, and everybody should love you and buy you presents.
Oh, thank you, Grand Arbiter. And later, will you help me rectify a terrible, terrible mistake I made?
What did you do?
I accidentally blocked Sam, Captain Sam, our wonderful tea captain Sam.
Oh no, from from Facebook?
Yes,
Oh no.
yes,
Well, we'll have to unblock him.
yes, yes, please. I'm so chagrined. So anyway, the new setup is mostly working though, I think, and we're having a lovely time. And everyone says hello to you. We've got a nice little crowd tonight. So yeah,
Well, I will let you go, and we'll meet up later to discuss your great sins against tea kind.
thank you, Grand Arbiter. Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, be safe.
Bye bye. Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Yes.